I have been following the Minnesota Vikings since roughly like 2008. And I can tell you that the greatest Vikings game of all time is not the Minneapolis Miracle, but it is the Vikings versus Bills in 2022, week 10, when nobody was watching. It was a noon game, I believe, and there wasn't a single person that cared about this game besides Vikings and Bills fans. I do believe the Vikings were like 7-1 at this time. But that will always go down for me as the greatest game I've ever watched with my own two eyes. So without further ado, we're going to be reacting to that same game, and I'm going to try and take you guys through exactly how I was feeling and thinking during this time. For the face cam, and over here. Okay, so yes, at this point, the Vikings were, 7-1, and the Bills were 6-2. But I remember at this time that nobody thought we were going to beat the Bills because even though we were 7-1 and they were 6-2, I can't really remember the schedule prior to this, but I do know that the buildup was like the Vikings were frauds and that the Bills were the legit contenders. Kind of like how it's been, the last few years between the two. And I actually remember streaming this game and thinking like, oh man, this is like one of my first ever streams. I still have those clips somewhere. I hope I can still find them. So yes, at this point, Jefferson getting the touchdown, I was like, all right, we're here. We're in. No problem. Like, prove all the haters wrong. No big deal. And in typical Vikings fashion, they score fast and then just give up the big kick return. Okay, so yeah, this was the Donashell defense. That's right. That's right. So even though we were 7-1, everybody was torching us. Now I remember. That's exactly why nobody thought we were contenders. Okay, and then at this point, I believe this is when the Bills start just taking the game and no signs of hope. Okay, I know that looks bad, and I'm going to say this right now. Kirk Cousins is the most underrated quarterback ever. I don't care what anybody says. I don't get why people hated this guy. If he just took the route of Tom Brady and took less money, I feel like we would have been Super Bowl champs easily. Maybe that's a crazy take, but like Cousins to me was our franchise guy because no matter what, even games like this, he always came in clutch at times and in the end. And him even being on the Falcons, he had how many 500 or he had a 500-yard game. He had 2 crazy comebacks against Baker. Like I'm telling you, that guy, like that should have been our quarterback until the end, but I get it. I get the whole money situation and what happened, so I'm not blaming the Vikings for moving on. But see, stuff like that would happen to us all the time, and it's so infuriating to this day. It's like, no matter what, these other teams can convert on us, and it'll be like 3rd and 2, which that's a whole Kevin O'Connell discussion that I don't even want to get into right now, but I'm not sold on Kevin O'Connell. All right, let's skip this to the part where everybody knows, the part where I thought it was over. All right, where was it at? Was it 10-27 at one point? Yes, or 24, okay. So at this point, yeah, 3rd quarter, 2 minutes left. I'm pretty sure I was over it. I remember drinking this day a lot. I was so bummed because so badly I wanted the national media to know how good the Vikings were. And to this day, I'm still that same way. I just want people to like love the Vikings, but every time this is why, because we prove ourselves wrong. So yes, Cook goes off here. And I remember specifically saying on my stream, if only we just tried a little bit harder, then we could have won this game. And I had completely lost all hope at this point. And then Diggs, yes, Diggs had this crazy catch. Everybody just glazing him, saying that we made a mistake getting rid of him. And I think this was the first time Diggs played against us since we traded him, so he definitely had a chip on his shoulder at this point. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe at this point I was like, we're never going to win this game. Like, this is the Donashell defense. Just sits in shell coverage the whole game. Just lets Josh Allen pick us off. Okay, so it's got to be, it's got to be this because I don't remember if they scored here or not, but with 12 minutes left, 17-27. Looks the other way. Over the middle and incomplete, and it's or is this where he throws the pick? So here we go. Allen on 4th and 2. Keeps it alive. Oh, that's right. 4th and 2. And yeah, Patrick Peterson got him. I was stoked. I was so stoked. I couldn't believe that we even had a chance at that point because all Allen had to do was just kick the field goal or run it out. But, you know, he always has to play hero ball. See, 4th and 6. Great pass by Cousins. Cousins can thread the needle. I don't care if that makes me a Glazer, but that dude, I miss Cousins so much. Is this called back? No, it wasn't called back. Okay. That's the other thing. I still don't know why we didn't use CJ Ham more doing that throughout the years. Always great on the team. Never, dude could catch passes and everything, but we never used him right, in my opinion. That sounds about right. I don't remember that, but typical Vikings fashion, missing the kick. No big deal. So 23-27. I was like trying not to keep my hope alive here. I remember that because of stuff like this. It just, every time, you know, just the most crushing losses. Oh, okay, yes, this is what sets up the catch. That makes sense. Yeah, here, okay. Here, I specifically remember streaming this game. I was one of my first streams, and I had no hope. And I remember one of my chatters was like he was a couple seconds ahead of me. So I'm just like 4th and 18. It doesn't matter. It's after the 2-minute warning, no timeouts. And I remember him just typing in OMG exclamation points. And I was just like, I didn't know what happened, but I just like jumped up out of my seat and was just like, oh, like, why did he say that? Like, what happened? And then, yeah, the craziest thing I've ever seen happen. 4th and 18, and Jefferson just, I couldn't even believe it. I was just like, don't look at it, don't review it. Just call it good, call it good. But this stuff never happens to us Vikings fans, ever. So when that happened, oh my gosh, bro, I like couldn't even believe that was like 4th and 18, like that was something that we did for once, because it always happens to us. For other teams will make that all day long, but for us, like, yeah, one of the craziest things I've ever seen. To this day, I still don't know how that ball didn't get like bobbled or anything. And then after that, Thielen catches it. Jefferson right there. Then Cousins trips on himself. And this was the thing too. Every time my buddies would be like, "This is why he's trash. Look, he tripped." Or when he took center under the wrong guy. Even that, how that wasn't a touchdown is crazy. Because every other team, they call this a touchdown. I guess it was short. But most of the time, when it happens to us, like when Cousins runs it in here, there's no way to dispute whether it's crossed the line or not. Any other team, if it's Allen, they're going to give it to him. But Cousins, they're not going to give it to him. And that was another thing, 4th and goal. And again, I was just like, it's over. He dropped the ball. That's how it ends. I just kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. Drops the ball. Offside. Wow. Again, it was the luckiest break. And then here we go, 4th and goal, another chance, and we're right there. And Cousins. See, from that angle, you cannot tell me that doesn't look like he's over. Like, there's no way that the refs could say, "Oh, it was short." But of course, because of us, it's the Vikings. They call it short. But if that was Josh Allen, they're going to call that a touchdown every single time. So as crazy as that catch was, this next part is the craziest. I couldn't believe the amount of chances that we got in this game. Even there's no way to show if he's down or not, or see. I still think on the field, that should always be a touchdown. So right here, all hope is gone. All of it is gone. I was just like, you know what? We got chance after chance. The 4th and 18, the comeback, the offsides, everything went our way, and I was just like, "That's it." And same thing, the guy in my chat was a couple seconds ahead. I don't remember what he said this time, but I was pretty buzzing by this point. And I could not believe it here either. I thought this was a safety, and I was like, okay, if it's a safety, then that's 2 points to us. We get the ball back. We just got to get a field goal. Like, but the fact that it was a touchdown made it insane. I still get chills when the announcer says that with their last breath. I just remember how I felt at this time. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, oh my gosh. There's like, this never happens to us. And we got 3 crazy chances to take the lead. Like, this never happens. And then shortly after here, they march down the field because Donishell's defense is trash. Just no pressure, no anything, just wide open. With 11 seconds from 29 yards, it's Tyler Bass. And they kick it. It's good. OT. So, of course, once again, I am like, okay, that was it. We had all the chances in the world, but here comes the Vikings. Nobody will ever remember the Vikings winning this game or all the things they did because it's going to end. And even right there, that was bobbled. That should never have counted. To this day, I'm pretty sure the referee said, yeah, we shouldn't have counted that. And I'm trying not to be such a biased Vikings fan, but man, the games I've watched, the Vikings have been screwed over so many times, it's insane. I'm sure other fan bases can say that, but if I remember correctly, we also get like so close. Yep, right there. So as you can see, like all my issues with watching this team were at 1st and goal and just can't move the needle. Just can't move the chains, can't do anything. And we settle for the field goal, and I think, okay, now this is where the shoe drops. Josh Allen to throw. He's in trouble. Josh Allen keeps it alive. And then he just, what was that? I'm pretty sure that was like one of the first plays of the game, or of them getting possession. And within like 2 or 3 plays, they're already past midfield. Coverage downfield good, so he's going to do what he does. Runs again. Lowers the shoulder again. Yep. I was just waiting for it. Once again, just like here it comes. And I was waiting for a PI on that. The officiating crews have let them battle it out. 2nd and 10. Allen. This is where Allen. Yep, right there. Played hero ball again. And I couldn't believe it. Just Patrick Peterson being the hero. The Vikings win the game of the year. And yeah, craziest game. I wish I could go back and just feel these emotions and watch this game again like I've never seen it. And yeah, that was the 8-1 at the time now, Minnesota Vikings, and the 6-3 Bills. And I remember even after everything, even after it, they still weren't giving us any respect. It was still, oh, it was lucky and all these things. And yes, a lot of those plays were lucky, so I will give that to them. However, none of that stuff happens for us. But to this day, that is the greatest Vikings game I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, Minnesota Miracle is definitely a close second. And then the third for me is probably that comeback against the Colts, just because that was insane too. And yeah, if you guys want, I can go back and watch those ones too and react to them. I'm gonna try and get out more football content and reactions. And if you're fans of other teams like the Packers, Lions, or Bears, let me know some games that maybe I haven't seen that are crazier than this one, and I'll go back and react to those. So yeah, let me know. As a Vikings fan since roughly two, as a Vikings fan since roughly 2008, I could tell you that the greatest Vikings game of all time is not the Minneapolis Miracle, but it is the Bills versus Vikings in 2022, Week 10, when the only two people that were watching were Vikings and Bills fans at the time. And I'm going to be reacting to it, but it is the greatest game I have ever seen with my own two eyes. And it was one of the first live streams I've ever done, or Twitch streams where like a watch along party. But fuck, that was good. As a Vikings fan since roughly about 2008, I can tell you that the greatest Vikings game of all time is not the Minneapolis Miracle, but it is the Vikings versus Bills in Week 10 in 2022. And we're going to be reacting to it and going through how I was feeling at the time and the emotions. But I can tell you this was the craziest game I've ever seen in my life. And it sucks that most people were not even watching this because I don't remember if it was a noon game or a 2 p.m. game, but either way, it wasn't like a prime time game. So the only two fan bases that were watching were the Vikings and Bills fans. And yeah, so let's get into it. Let's start reacting. And so, yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.